Many people are questioning the statements made by Sidney Powell, famed attorney for Michael Flynn, was once said to be on the Trump legal team by Trump himself, but now Giuliani and Jenna Ellis are saying she's not. Many people have questioned her on the things she said, even me. While I certainly think that some of the things she said have been a bit out there, I want to take the time to say not all of it is completely incorrect. But here's the problem with conspiracy theories. And maybe she has evidence, and I, with respect, will, wait to see what she has. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Absolutely. A lot of people connect dots where dots don't need to be connected. But I can tell you, Snopes and these fact-checking organizations love to play dirty games. That's what I call it, dirty games. Framing devices. I often talk about how fact-checking is used to manipulate the truth. Isn't it funny how that works? It'll be something like this. Donald Trump will eat a bowl of ice cream. And then people will be like, oh, wow, Donald Trump is eating ice cream. You'll then get a Snopes article. Did Donald Trump really eat a bowl of ice cream? With sprinkles? False. False. And then you scroll down and say, what's true? Donald Trump did eat a bowl of ice cream. There were no sprinkles. Well, who said he did? That's the name of the game. They can take a factual statement. Did Joe Biden win this election? According to the media. True. And then they'll say, what's true? The media did declare Joe Biden won. What's not true? Joe Biden did not win. You see how the game is played? Check this one out. From Snopes. Is Dominion subsidiary chairman Peter Neffinger on Biden's transition team? There is more than one voting software company operating in the United States. It has been brought up by many people that there is the chairman of a voting technologies company who was just appointed by Joe Biden or brought onto his transition team in some capacity. And that's kind of, a lot of people might say, why? Why is that? You see what Snopes did here? Who said Dominion? It's Smartmatic. Smartmatic is the voting tech company. Then they'll say Smartmatic is not actually owned by Venezuelans. Well, we have a cable from Wikileaks from 10 years ago that says something different, but who am I to judge, right? Here's the important play. Take a look at how Snopes does this. They say, a member of U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's transition team, Peter Neffinger, served as chairman of Dominion Voting's subsidiary, Smartmatic. Mostly false. Whew. I was worried that Joe Biden was bringing on election machine experts to his transition team for some reason. What's true? Peter Neffinger, a U.S. Coast Guard admiral, former chief of the Transportation Security Administration, and chairman of Smartmatic's board of directors, is a member of one of the agency's review team aiding Biden's transition to the White House. What's false? He's not the chairman of Dominion. Smartmatic is a competitor, not a subsidiary of Dominion. Oh, so the guy who's on Joe Biden's transition team, who is the chairman of a voting machine company that operated in, to be fair, as far as I can tell, just Los Angeles County. Don't worry. He's not on the chair of that other voting machine company. Now, it's a fair point, I guess, in a certain respect, because Dominion operated in like 30 plus states and Smartmatic operated, I think, in just Los Angeles County, according to what I've seen. But the issue is they call it false. And then we see this. Fact check. Smartmatic CEO is not on Biden's team. Smartmatic software is not on Dominion voting machines. Oh, perfect. The Smartmatic CEO is not on Biden's team. No, the chairman is. Oh, you see how they do this? It's really amazing. They should just put fact check. Smartmatic chairman is on Joe Biden's team. And then they can say Smartmatic software is not on Dominion voting machines. That's what they've said. I've seen no direct evidence to say otherwise. I did a fairly extensive search. There's a lot of people who are saying, here's the real documents. Here's the real information. It's not necessarily hard proof. But here's what I can show you. First, we know what's true. That Peter Neffinger is on Joe Biden's team, and he is the chairman of Smartmatic's USA board. He is on his agency review team under the Department of Homeland Security as a volunteer. They go on to say, but he's not the CEO. What? Verdict. False. Smartmatic software is not on Dominion voting machines, and the CEO is not on Biden's team. Okay, that's fair. The article was produced by the Reuters fact-check team. Let me show you something from Wikileaks, going back to, I think this was released in 2010. No joke, 10 years ago. This is part of what was called Cablegate. Cablegate was when a bunch of diplomatic cables got released and it was confidential. Caracas's view of Smartmatic and its voting machines. They say the Venezuelan-owned Smartmatic Corporation is a riddle both in ownership and operation, complicated by the fact that its machines have overseen several landslide and contested victories by President Hugo Chavez and his supporters. The electronic voting company went from a small technology startup to a market player in just a few years, catapulted by its participation in the August 2004 recall referendum. Smartmatic has claimed to be of U.S. origin, but its true owners, probably elite Venezuelans of several political strains, remain hidden behind a web of holding companies in the Netherlands and Barbados. The Smartmatic machines used in Venezuela are widely suspected of, though never proven conclusively to be, susceptible to fraud. The company is thought to be backing out of Venezuelan electoral events, focusing now on other parts of the world, including the United States, via its subsidiary Sequoia and Summary. I'm bringing this up because a lot of people have mentioned this to me. And you know what? To make all of y'all angry who are following this stuff and believe all this stuff, I don't know what the origin of this cable leak is. Just because it was asserted in a diplomatic cable doesn't mean it's true. I think it shows evidence that going back, there was reason to believe that Smartmatic was playing dirty games. But as far as I can tell, as of right now, and just send me something if you find something, Smartmatic operated just in Los Angeles County. Now, that's reason for alarm for Los Angeles County 2020 elections. And the chairperson of the USA board, the chairman of the USA board, is on Joe Biden's team. These things, I think, are issues, and that in and of itself is, in my opinion, a conflict of interest. But did anybody think that Los Angeles was going to be turning red anyway? Do we really need some grand conspiracy to convince people that Los Angeles voted Democrat? No. I think we should keep looking into it, and I look forward to seeing the evidence that will be presented by Sidney Powell. But for the time being, I'm not entirely convinced that any of this stuff is true, outside of the fact that Smartmatic is, in my opinion, I wouldn't trust it at all. And we should bring up issues with LA County. Is it going to overturn the results and help Trump win? I really don't think so. And maybe that's why the Trump camp said she's doing her own thing. Look, I trust the Trump campaign is going to do what's in their own best interest. If that's, people are saying that Sidney Powell is now being cut loose to go, on her own and act as a rogue agent or something. I don't think so, because the Trump campaign just lost a lawsuit at the federal level in the Third Circuit due to standing, meaning you have to be the injured party to actually sue. So I guess that's, what's happening now. But I do want to show you something funny about Dominion. The Dominion spokesman said, "It is not physically possible for our machines to switch votes from one candidate to the other." That is one of the stupidest things I have ever heard. If physically possible. That's right. It's not physically possible. It is electronically possible. It is digitally possible, but not physically possible. You see the word games they use? It is not physically possible for our machines to switch votes from one candidate to the other. Okay. Is it possible the software in the machines could invert tabulations or change the numbers thus that it looks like Joe Biden has more votes than Trump? Can they subtract votes from Trump? Can they add votes to Biden? The answer is yes, of course they can. Otherwise, they wouldn't function properly as voting machines. That doesn't mean there was widespread fraud through Dominion, though. But let me just tell you, if you are going to allow voting machines like this in our elections, then you are welcoming fraud. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. We should do, in my opinion, hard paper ballots, hand counted with 2 observers, a Republican and a Democrat, or actually 3, and a third party. We should probably have an independent auditor, a Democrat and a Republican, Libertarian Party maybe, and then the actual vote counter. Then who's going to complain? Then we'll have all these people staring at it. Now, they're using COVID as an excuse as to why people can't actually watch them count. And that's ridiculous because the vote counters are all standing next to each other. All right. But let me just say, I don't know, how deep this goes, whether there's a grand conspiracy or nefarious plots. I will say it's strange the media is lying in this way and using these framing devices. No, it's not. There's no Dominion person on the transition team for Joe Biden.
A spokesperson for Dominion.
He's a Smartmatic one. No. The Smartmatic CEO is not on Biden's team. He's just the chairperson. Okay, dude. Joe Biden has the chair of a company once accused of working with the Venezuelans, owned by elite Venezuelans, on his transition to, you know what? All right, I'm going to stop you right there. In this cable leaked by Wikileaks, someone at some point in a document classified by Robert Downs, political counselor, they claimed that Smartmatic was probably owned, the true owners were elite Venezuelans. Maybe they investigated this and found it to not be true. Fine. But at the very least, it doesn't look good for Joe Biden. And so I'm not surprised the media is twisting things left and right. Instead of just saying, fact check, the chairman of the Smartmatic board is on Joe Biden's team, period. They always play these dirty games, don't they? Just give us the truth. I'll leave it there. I got one more segment coming up in a few minutes. Stick around and I will see you all shortly.